Dímelo familia. Good morning, family. It is another beautiful day, another beautiful week. It's Monday, and it's 6 a.m. on the dot. We're ready to go to the gym. Today we're gonna hit chest. And last week, it was our first week in a while where we were consistent in the gym from Tuesday all the way through Sunday. This week I want to change it up because I don't want to work out on Sunday. I want Sunday to be my rest day. So starting today, Monday, with chest, and then going all the way working out every day until Saturday. And then Sunday I can rest, reset, recover, and get ready for the following week. But feeling good about today. I woke up at 3 a.m. and every time I wake up that early, it's always a toss-up to see if I can wake up at the time that I wanted to, which is 5 a.m. Luckily, I woke up with my alarm at 5, and as soon as I swept that alarm off, I was like, all right, bro, you got to stay up. Stay with me now. Stay up. Keep your eyes open. And I ended up getting out of bed, going to the bathroom, sitting down, turning on the light, and sitting there for a second just to let my body wake up naturally with light. And that's something that's been game changer for me, to get out of bed and then go to the bathroom and turn on the light, because your body naturally, I think there's something where your body naturally wakes up with the sun, if there's sunlight, something like that. That's very true, honestly. Every time I wake up in the morning and I go to the bathroom, turn on that light and let my body relax for a second, I instantly wake up. So feeling good that today, another decision that was made correctly, and I'm up and ready to go at it. But yeah, let's make sure that we start the week strong. Last week was a huge week for me in the gym, so I'm very, very proud of it. But what happened last week or what happened yesterday is in the past. Now we got to focus on today, and today is chest day. So before we go and work for the world, let's put in the work for ourselves. So let's get it. Felt good, although I had to do an extra 2 sets of cable flies because for some reason, I don't know, I felt like my chest needed a little bit more pump, a little bit more exhaustion. So good workout overall. I ended up finishing in about an hour and a half, which is nice. But good way to start the week. And I also wanted to talk about real quick about my priorities for this week. Last video I mentioned how I want to incorporate something new each week into my day-to-day routine. Last week, obviously, I highlighted this morning, it was going to the gym consistently. So I did that for 6 days last week. Now this week I'm going to continue to build upon that and continue to be, consistent at the gym, But the other layer that I'm adding on this week is sleep. And sleep is something that ever since college, my sleep schedule and my circadian rhythm, as they call it, has been out of whack and all over the place. Especially when I used to work at the stadium, we would have sometimes concerts, and the concerts would go up to like 11 p.m. By the time I got back home, it'd be midnight. And when I moved here, I also worked at the theater, at a Guthrie Theater, and at Stadium at the same time. So sometimes I would come back from the stadium, change, go to work at the theater, and leave. I don't know, it could be anywhere between 8:30, 9:30, 10:30, or 11. And I've been doing a better job recently of getting to bed earlier. Last night, I kind of talked to myself and said, you got to be off your phone by 9:30 or 10 p.m. Just because it allows your mind to fully start to unwind instead of being fully like scrolling on TikTok or on social media, and your mind is still up while your body wants to rest. So that's the priority for this week, focusing on sleep and getting to bed by 10 p.m. And that just means being in bed and start that unwinding process. Maybe watch something with Corbin on TV, maybe have conversations with Corbin as we head into bed or go to sleep, or even starting my nighttime routine. That's something that I need to do a better job at doing. But baby steps. We're going to take it one step at a time. Last week it was gym. This week is going to be focusing on sleep and incorporating one thing at a time instead of wanting to do, all right, I'm going to wake up early in the morning. I want to go to the gym. I want to do this, that, and the other. And you end up having analysis paralysis, which I've had in the past for many, many months, sometimes years. So yeah, got back home to the apartment. It's about 7:24. Now I'm watching a little YouTube video, which I always, whenever I get a chance, either that in the morning, in the evening, during work. Not while I prop my phone up, but I have it on my ear and I'm doing work, so I'm listening to YouTube videos or podcasts, because obviously I love the community, I love the space, and I love the creators that I follow and I drew inspiration from. But yeah, so doing that right now, drinking some water because hydration is important, and that's another thing that I want to incorporate this week, sleep and hydration. I think that'll be important for my body to recover, especially if I'm starting a new habit of going to the gym consistently. My body's gonna need sleep and hydration, obviously nutrition. So make sure that I'll prioritize that this week. Gotta fold some laundry that we had in the dryer last night, so I'm gonna do that while I watch some YouTube, and then I'll start getting ready to go to work because it's Monday. Another day, another work week.
But really life is flashing by.
22, go get it now.
27, hold it down. I'm javelin, baby. Two-turn, baby girl, you know me. I was pulling up when they knew me. Sometimes I wish there was two of me, or three of me, when it was you and me. Dímelo, dímelo, familia. We are off from work and on our way back home. What a productive day it's been, from waking up early in the morning, hitting a chest workout, to having an overall productive day at work. One of those days where you feel like you're at your flow state, where you're getting things done and getting back on track, because for the past couple of weeks, it's just been, I get something done and 2 more things come into my plate or my inbox, and I just feel like I'm constantly trying to get back on track. But today was one of those days where I was just like sending emails, doing things. I was cooking, listening to a podcast, multitasking. Very, very good day. But yeah, like I said, on my way home, and this time, I most of the time use it to talk with Corbin. Every time I leave work, I give her a call, let her know that I'm on my way. We chat for a little bit about how our days were, and then I let her go, and I call my mom, call my dad, or call my grandpa, and then if not, I play some music and I just vibe for 20 to 30 minutes, and it's good because I have some time to myself before and after work to collect my thoughts, do some self-reflection, and think about what I've done so far in the day, if there's anything that I want to prioritize in the evening, and just be grateful, man. I think a lot of times with work and life, it tends to get a little bit fast-paced, as I just explained with work, where it gets too crazy with deliverables, with reaching out to customers, or doing some projects that you may have on your plate, that it seems like you're always like fast-paced, and then you get back home, you have to cook dinner, then you have to maybe go to the gym and exercise, or spend some time with your loved ones, and then eventually have some time, briefly, some time for yourself before you go to bed. So I always take this time to ground myself and be grateful to the fact that, first, I'm alive. Second, that I'm healthy. Could I do better at being more like healthier with my fitness, with my nutrition? Absolutely. But that's a work in progress that I'm putting an effort day in and day out for. And I have family that love me and support me. I have a girlfriend, partner that loves me, supports me, and we're always figuring things out and learning and growing and communicating our thoughts, our feelings, our experiences, our goals as individuals, our goals as a couple. And that's what it's all about. So this drive to me after work, I try my best to leave work at work and not bring work home, because when I get home, I want to be present for Corbin. I want, as soon as I get there, show her love, show her kindness, show her attention, and be there present to whatever it's needed, whether that is cooking dinner, doing laundry, whatever the case may be. In past jobs that I had, I would bring work home, and I would just find myself thinking about work often and complaining a lot, that I just say, you know what, for this new job, I gotta just focus on work while I'm at work, and once I leave those doors, I'm focused on enjoying myself, spending time with Corbin, and making our evenings productive and enjoyable. And that's what we're doing. So right now I'm gonna continue to enjoy the vibe, because we got some music as always. I'm gonna enjoy the rest of the drive, and I'll catch up with you guys afterwards. Y baby, todo lo mío es tuyo, y que contigo es que yo fluyo. Tú la nota me la subes, por eso el resto la excluyo. Picture me rolling through downtown in an A4. Picture my signature on a pair of some J4s. Picture me caring with niggas saying, oh, Wi-Fi they don't pay for. Knew I needed love, but I think I value the hate more.
It is as real as it gets. A new chapter is brewing, cooking up in the pot, because today Corbin and I officially signed are intend to vacate or notice to vacate because we'll be moving out in less than 3 months, which is crazy. I was a little bit like 10 minutes ago, I was going through my YouTube channel, and I decided to click on a few videos from when I started posting in 2022. And man, it's crazy how time flies. I came to Minnesota in 2022, started working, lived next to the stadium in a one-bedroom apartment that didn't have any furniture. I slept on a air mattress, on a twin-size air mattress for like 4 months. Then I got a bed. Then my mom got me an inflatable sofa, which you probably have seen. If you scroll down through my YouTube channel and go to pretty much a few of my first videos, you'll see the gray inflatable sofa that I'm referring to. But yeah, I was watching that video. I saw another video of when I first moved into this building that we're in right now, 3 years ago. So it'll be 3 years, April 19th. And it's crazy to think how time flies, man. It's crazy how time flies. And yeah, Corbin and I signed our lease, or not lease. That will be coming soon, signing a lease somewhere else. But putting our notice that we're going to be moving out of this building, which is the building where we first met. It is where she and I first lived together and had our first date, and many memories in this building. And it's just crazy to think that in just a few months we'll be starting a new chapter somewhere else. So I've been very introspective past couple days, and especially today when we officially signed that notice that we're moving out, not renewing our lease. I don't know. I'm the type of person that I'm always thinking about my life, especially when it gets to certain checkpoints of, going to college, graduating college, moving away from my family, moving in with my partner, or starting a relationship, moving in with my partner, and now we're moving into a place more than likely outside of downtown. And I've been knowing downtown since I've been here, since 2022. I've lived in downtown Minneapolis. So now we're potentially branching out of downtown, and it's going to be something new, something that'll take some time to adjust. But it's always good to try new things, and every chapter has its own story, and every chapter helps build the story. So I'm very proud of the past 3 years that I've been in this building, and we still have like 2.5 months left in here. So we're going to maximize it as much as possible. I'm going to continue going to the gym as much as possible because the gym is in the rooftop. So I can oversee downtown, north, south, east, west, anywhere. So I'm going to take in the sights, take in the views, and also take the chance to be grateful, because a little backstory to myself is when I moved to Minneapolis, I worked at US Bank Stadium, but I didn't have any car. So I ended up choosing an apartment that was next door to the stadium, knowing that would help me not need to get a car, because I could order grocery pickup, someone would deliver the groceries, or I could walk downtown, there's a Target, and get groceries myself. And it was right next to work, so I didn't need to commute to work. I literally just walk across the street, boom, work. Finish work, cross the street, boom, back at the apartment. So I did that. But then I always wanted something more. I always wanted to see myself living in a high-rise apartment. Growing up when I was in high school, and even in college, I would see a lot of apartment tours. I always seen like New York listing, $1 million listing, and seeing all these penthouses, high-rise apartments in New York and other places, and watching HGTV and seeing, houses being remodeled and all that. And I was like, oh man, one day I want to live in a high-rise apartment. So I knew that I wasn't going to stay in the apartment that I first moved in when I moved to Minneapolis. So this building was the first that I toured, and I fell in love because it was a high-rise apartment, close to work, close to Skyway access that could get me to the stadium, to and from the stadium. It had a rooftop. It had a gym. And then on top of that gym on the rooftop, which is really nice. And it was just in the middle of downtown. I could go to work to the stadium, but if I wanted to go to a game, I could go to Target Center. There's restaurants. But I knew that I would need to get some more income in order to live here. So I decided to take another job, and I started working at the Guthrie Theater here in downtown. So I would do that in the evenings and do my full-time 9 to 5 at the stadium, which wasn't necessarily a typical 9 to 5 because we would have Vikings games or concerts and different events on weekends. But every time I would walk to the Guthrie, I would see to the horizon, to the left, I would see this building. I'm like, man. And I had toured the apartment at that point. And when I did the tour, I fell in love. I'm like, I want to live here. And I started looking at how much it costs to get a one-bedroom apartment. I was like, all right, if I work such and such many hours and then I save up some money, I can be a month in advance. And that way I'm in a good spot. So I worked hard for a year and 8 months. I worked the stadium and I worked the Guthrie. So I worked pretty much, I would say, 50 to 60 plus hours during that time, and I was able to afford moving into this building and moving into a one-bedroom apartment on the 21st floor, which had a view of the stadium, which was amazing too because I could see work from high up. And yeah, from there I had the blessing of meeting Corbin, and we started dating, and then we thought it'd be best for our relationship. We moved in together. I know that typically that's not something that you usually do before marriage. I think at the point that we were in our relationship, it was either moving in together or doing long distance, and we felt comfortable with each other that we made the decision to live together. And it was an adjustment at first because obviously she has a different way of just a different routine, and I had a different routine. I'm more of a night owl. She's more of like sleeping early. But ever since we moved in together into this very exact apartment a year and a half ago, almost 2 years. It's been a lot of great memories here. We've rearranged the apartment, a lot of the furniture we've purchased. Corbin has made this apartment feel like a home for us. And yeah, I don't know why I'm kind of going on a tangent and being very introspective. I just wanted to chat with you guys because that was very, very huge for us to sign that notice and say that we're going to move out after spending here 3 years for me and then 2 for Corbin and I. I don't know. It's one of those things that every time a chapter comes to its end, you start thinking about the entire chapter. And that's how I've been my entire life. I remember when I was in high school, and I would be my junior year, senior year, whenever I would have like a basketball or volleyball tournament, I always tell my parents, can I stay until the end of the tournament? Because I know that this is gonna be the last time that I'm gonna be doing this tournament. Or my parents were very supportive throughout the entire process, and still to this day they're always there for me. Even if they're in Puerto Rico, they're still supporting me and loving me. But they helped me just be present and embracing the moment that will then eventually pass, which obviously I don't no longer am in high school. I'm all grown up. I'm no longer in college. I'm an adult, even though sometimes I feel like I'm still a boy. Your boy's turning into a man for real. And yeah, I think we still don't have an apartment, which is also very exciting. Somewhat nerve-wracking. I'm not too concerned because before I moved here to Minneapolis in 2022, I literally got the job offer from the stadium, and then within a week or two, I had to find an apartment, and I was able to do that. But yeah, we're trying to find an apartment that is either at the same price range as this one or a more cost-effective apartment, because we want to start saving money and investing in our future. And that's something that I wasn't necessarily too into in the past. Like, I would know that I would have to save, but I wouldn't really think about saving for the future or saving long term. But ever since I become, I'm 27, I'm about to turn 28 in April, I've started to think about all these things about, investing for the future, marriage, kids, house, a car, and yeah, with the next apartment, we also want something that we both love and enjoy, because obviously when I lived here before Corbin lived with me, and she didn't necessarily love it at first, but has come to enjoy it. And now moving out of downtown will be very beneficial for, I think, both her and I, because she works from home most of the time. So she's in the apartment most of the time, more than me. And sometimes she feels like she can't go anywhere because you gotta get in the car, drive down the parking garage to go out, or downtown, it's not necessarily safe for a woman, whether that is during the day or at night. And we want to find a new place where it can be less hectic, and it can be more, there could be trails. We can go to the park. There's, a patio in our apartment or townhome where Corbin can, sit and drink coffee, or she can work and things like that. So yeah, we're trying to figure out. We have two apartment complexes that we're eyeing out. Right now, there's one that we're going to be touring next weekend on Saturday, and that's the one that right now is the one that we're leaning the most to between the two apartment complexes. But it'll all come down to availability, pricing, and Corbin and I thinking about, what for us is important in the next place, which will become our new home. What are things that we want that to have? What are our priorities, and what is our good things to have? So yeah, that's something that we're gonna be working on in the next couple of months here. Like I mentioned, we have that apartment tour next Saturday, and she and I have been looking at those two apartment complexes to see if any apartments become available, if any offers pop up, because we're about 2.5 months before our lease ends here. So we should be in that period where, since it's 60-day notice for most of the apartment complexes, right, that have leases, that means that apartments in other complexes should be opening up if people are moving out. So we're in that period where we're waiting to see if there's an opening and if there's one at a good price that we like and that will accommodate both of us, then we'll go and make the necessary plans to start that new chapter. But yeah, I just wanted to tap in with you guys. Also today, it's been a very chill evening. Corbin and I had dinner, and we had leftover from what we had last night. Last night we had white rice, turkey, Polish sausage, and green beans. Nice, well-rounded meal. And it tasted good today, even though it was made yesterday. It was really, really good. So we did that, and then she ended up filming a TikTok. So she was working on filming her TikTok and editing it for a little while. I was editing short form for my TikTok. And then we kind of been relaxing since then, and now she's in bed. And I'm going to be going to bed soon because it's 10:30, and your boy is on his grind. And I said that this week I'm going to continue to build upon last week and going to the gym. I started my week strong today, going to the gym in the morning. I'm going to continue it tomorrow. But yeah, I just want to take a quick second to chat with you and just kind of have an introspective talk, because life moves fast, but we gotta make sure that we take the time to appreciate the moment, appreciate what we've lived so far, the people, the experiences, the things, the resources that we have, the job, the roof over our head. There's a lot of crazy things happening in the world that there's to be able to be awake and have another chance, another day at life, that's something that we shouldn't take for granted. I definitely try my best to remind myself every single day. And even watching a video of mine when I was talking in 2022 about how I wanted to start posting on YouTube and doing all that, and looking back at myself and in a way kind of thinking about where I was when I was filming that video, and me trying to have an avenue where I could share my thoughts, experiences, and having someone to talk to, because I moved into Minnesota and I was by myself. So it was in a way therapy for me to pick up the camera and talk and share my story, my journey. And still to this day, I'm going to continue to do that and share with you guys. But yeah, today was a very relaxing day. Now I'm going to maybe watch a little more YouTube, because your boy's always either editing or filming YouTube or watching a YouTube video. And then I'm going to go get some rest, so that way I don't get to bed late and I can work on the second thing that I set for this week that I want to prioritize on, which is sleep. Last night I had a good night's sleep. Tonight I'm going to make sure that I have a good night's sleep as well. So it all starts by setting yourself up for success the day before. So I want to wake up tomorrow to go to the gym in the morning. That means that I got to take care of my nighttime routine today in the evening, and maybe have my clothes ready for the gym, make sure that my cameras, the batteries are charged and ready to go, and that I can start going to bed early, because then that'll help me feel energized, because tomorrow I'm pretty much sure that I'm going to do back. Today I did chest. I think it's good that I'll be doing back tomorrow. So yeah, that's my little spiel. I think it's probably like 20 something minutes of me talking, so bear with me. Your boy is it's in his yapping, talking era. So yeah, I'm gonna watch a little bit of YouTube, and then I'm gonna see you guys tomorrow morning. beautiful day, another workout completed. Today, the focus for the gym was back and focus to start separating the muscle groups, because last week I did upper body and lower body and all my muscles were sore. But yesterday I did chest, today I did back, and it was a nice workout. There wasn't a lot of people in the gym, there was just a few people, and then I had most of my workout by myself at the gym, which is nice because one of the things in our gym here upstairs is it's a small space. They call it a gym, but I think realistically it's a fitness center, and it is a long fitness center, so there's not, it's not very wide, and yeah, it's always challenging to record my workouts. I do my best to try and not film other people, because the last thing I want to do is make other people uncomfortable when they're trying to, get some work in, put some work in for themselves and their bodies, and I don't want to add to the, feeling out of place to them and to myself. So I always try to get creative with the angles, so that way, people don't feel intruded, or don't feel like taking over the gym, which is not the case, because we're all in it together and using the same space to get better. So sometimes there's different angles that you may see, and you might go, oh, that's in the middle of the gym. Trust me, that's either because there's no one in the gym, or maybe there's one person and I put the camera across so I can get the set, and then I take the camera and just change angles to something that is closer and just you can only see me. But I ended up just doing 4 different exercises for back, 3 sets of 20 each. Lat pull down, which the previous video I was telling you guys, oh yeah, it's the exercise, it's like this, the target's this, and I didn't know what it was, and then I said lat pull down, I'm like, lats. That was hilarious. I was having a brain fart. But yeah, I did lat pull down to start today's workout, get those pretty much most of my back, which is the lats, activated and warmed up. So I did lat pull down. Then I moved into a seated row, which is in the same machine, and just like pulling that the weight towards your core, and then kind of flexing your back, so that way you can get that full range of motion, but also the tension for your lower back. Then I don't know how to call this, so I ended up calling it cable back, which is basically the one that, you have those, the cable, and you're kind of doing it as if you're skiing, but just controlling it and then pausing for a second, and then it's stretching as much as you can, so that way your lats and your back is fully stretched, and then do the same thing again, 3 sets of 20 for that. And then I finished up with reverse cable fly, which, man, at first 10 reps of the 3 sets that I did for reverse cable fly, which is basically, cable fly would be with cables right next to you, and then you flex forward, and that's what activates the chest. That's why it's called cable fly, because it's kind of like I don't know if it's because if it's like a fly and the flies do this. I don't know. Don't ask me. Ask ChatGPT. But reverse cable fly will be the same thing but opposite. So I started with the hands crossed, just because it'd be weird to do this. So I used the left hand side cable to the right, and then the other to the left, and then I just cross, and then trying to get as much back as possible. But the later part of the set, which is reps from like 12 to 20, my arms weren't fully stretching because they were getting tired. Because that exercise, reverse cable fly, depending on how you do it, it targets your back, but also part of your shoulders. So my shoulders were getting a little bit tired, and I was trying to, when I did the cable fly, reverse cable fly, trying to squeeze at the end so that way my back can get that tension. And yeah, so that was pretty much today's workout. Feeling good about it. I have a banana and a protein shake. This will be my post-workout meal, just to have something in my stomach, because now that I'm waking up early in the morning, I can't afford to not eat for 7 hours or however many hours it be since I wake up. Typically I have my lunch time around 12:30, but sometimes at work it gets busy and it gets pushed back to 1 p.m. So getting something like this in right now after my workout, getting some protein after my workout and getting a snack in will be huge, so that way I can last until my lunch break and not feel like I'm hungry and not getting enough food during my day. And obviously the earlier I get up, the more on top of it I have to be, because yeah, I woke up at, I think it was 5. It was 5. Actually, I woke up at 4 a.m. and I was like, oh, I still got a little bit of time, and then I just lay down, which mistake, because I've told you this, if you close your eyes, the likelihood of you getting back on time, up on time, slim. But yeah, I was able to wake up then at, I believe, 5-ish, and then by 5:30 I was in the bathroom with the lights on, getting ready to go to the gym. Ended up going to the gym at 6:30. So yeah, about an hour workout, which is pretty good. But given the fact that I woke up like at 4, then at 5:30-ish, all that period up until 12 or 12:30 to get some food in the system, that can't happen. So we gotta make sure that we're taking care of our body, not only inside the gym, but outside of the gym. And one of those is this. So yeah, your boy, you already know, I'm gonna get these down the hatch. I'm currently watching some YouTube, and in about 5 minutes, I need to go get a shower and then head to work.
I'm changing for you, changing for you. How can you say you know what I'm feeling? Know what I'm feeling? You don't feel nothing.
Tres medias botellas que ando despechado. Tus fotos con él me salen por todos lados, esperando el mensaje de que están dejados.
Y nunca se lo quiten, no, nunca se lo quiten, porque ella es jefa patrona, y aunque casi por dentro se desborona, se acicala y se ve cabrona.
Transitions, plan switching, ambition, minding my business, building a business, etc. Inspired by a few, but my mind really drives itself like Tesla. I'm the one, Russ, took a couple side streets, didn't take the main role, is employed by the ego, gatekeepers do not have gate codes. And my bad, you see frustration fuse the flex. I do what I can and I let God just do the rest. Now you sinking, everyone went straight, they looked at me like what you thinking. My gut is just my turn signal blinking. Y'all are local, you can't see beyond your zip code. South of France, but I can see Italy out the window.
For having these thoughts, I wonder if it's all my fault. This whole thing fell apart.
So I've been editing for probably about an hour and a half, and I'm almost done with the next video, which is the one before this. And I'm really proud of myself that I've been able to keep the consistency, not only in the gym, but also with filming and posting on YouTube. I already have one video that's scheduled and ready to go for next Saturday, or for this Saturday. The one that I'm finishing up tonight, which I'm not gonna finish up tonight because it's late and I gotta go to bed, so that way I can wake up early to the gym tomorrow. But I'll finish that video probably tomorrow, filming wise, and that'll be for the following Saturday. And from Monday, which is yesterday, today, and then tomorrow, that'll be another video. So your boy's been working overtime for real, trying different things, trying to get back into the creative flow of editing, which I love, and incorporating music, transitions. So it's been exciting. Today it was a pretty chill night. Corbin and I ended up finishing the series called The Beast in Me, which is on Netflix. We've been hooked watching it this past weekend. So we were watching The Burbs on Peacock, binge watched that in a couple of days, and then Corbin and I wanted to watch something else, so we saw that series that a lot of people were talking about. We ended up trying it out, and it's one limited series. It was one season, 8 episodes, and we finished that tonight. And then after that, I've just been here in my corner doing some editing. I edited my thumbnail, so my thumbnail is ready to go. But yeah, this is where most of my nights will be, whether that is editing, making sure that everything's good and ready to go to post for the upcoming videos, working on thumbnails, and just doing my best to continue just doing it, instead of talking about it, instead of like watching videos how to do this, just trying it out. One thing that's been good in my journey is that if I see something, I try my best to find how it's done and get the answers, and that's something that has allowed me to grow not only as a creator on YouTube, but in my professional life, personal life. I'm always curious to learn more. Oh, how is that done? Let me look it up. Let me try to figure it out and go from there. But yeah, this is just part of the process that a lot of people don't see, the behind the scenes, which, I'll be honest, I love doing this. I was telling Corbin the other day, if I could work 8 hours editing a video, I know that it'd be a lot, but man, I'd be so proud and so just joyful of editing, because anytime I film, especially when it comes to filming in the gym, I try my best to film different angles to make the experience and the story of the video more interesting and appealing for me, and something that I would like to watch. And incorporating music, transitions is allowing me to grow, and I'm going to continue to challenge myself to tell my story and just be consistent. And that's what we've been doing, being consistent. So with that being said, your boy needs to go to sleep because it's 11:44 and I got to go to bed because we got to wake up tomorrow and go to the gym. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. So we made it to the gym. It is Wednesday morning, about 6:45 a.m. We're going to hit legs today, which is the muscle group that I don't enjoy working out. But we have to get the work done, and just got to push through and do things that you're not comfortable doing, because that's where the growth is. So I'm pretty much in the gym right now. It's good that there's no one here, because then I can film more comfortably without intruding on people's workouts. But yeah, we're going to have a quick leg workout. We're going to start with leg extensions, do some seated leg curls in this same machine, and then from there we're going to go do leg press, barbell, RDL. I might do another exercise with dumbbell. We'll see if I have time. If not, I'm just going to do calf raises after the barbell RDL, and that'll pretty much be today's workout. So let's get to it. Workout, man. What a workout. I had the gym all to myself, which was pretty nice. But the sun, though, the sun was beaming. I don't know how I'm gonna work my magic and make the footage look somewhat visible, because during the entire workout the sun was out and about, which means that's another beautiful day, another beautiful opportunity for us to rise and shine as the sun did. But yeah, did a nice leg workout. Like I had mentioned at the gym, we ended up doing three sets of leg. Everything was 3 sets of 20. We did leg extension, went to seated leg curl, leg press, barbell RDL, and then we finished it up with calf raises. By the end of the workout, by the time that I was doing calf raises, I was thinking to myself, man, the last time I did legs, my legs were so sore and tight that I wasn't able to fully walk necessarily. I was able to walk, don't get me wrong, but I was bending my knees because my legs were just so tight that they couldn't fully stretch. And if I sat down for a little bit, then that impacted that as well. But we got to put in the work. We're going to put in the work, and then our body's going to get used to the pain or the weight and all the reps that we're doing. So today, halfway through the week, which is exciting. Been a productive week so far. I mean, we're 3 for 3 this week with going to the gym. Last night, I ended up going to bed a little later than I had anticipated because I was working on editing the previous video on the channel. That I ended up not finishing the video, editing the video, because it was like 11:40 something at night. And I'd rather go to bed so that I can then wake up and go to the gym instead of editing it and getting it done. And that video is not gonna come until like 2 weeks from the previous video, or not 2 weeks, a week from the previous video on the channel, which is days in my life. So there's a days in my life video, there's a weekend in my life video, and this one is another days in my life. So yeah, that was a huge moment for me to make that decision last night, making that shift. All right, what is a priority? The priority is sleep, and that's something that I told you guys that I was going to focus on this week, was sleep. So once I realized that, all right, I can edit tomorrow. There's no urgency for me to finish that video and go to bed at 1 a.m. and then I have to wake up at 5:30 which I ended up waking up at 6 today. So I think I ended up getting, like 6 hours of sleep, which is in the middle of what they say you should be getting, which is 8 hours. But hey, we got 6 hours. We got up, which is amazing. I went to the gym, did a leg workout. Corbin woke up as well, and she did her workout here at home. So we both have had a productive morning so far. Now she's getting ready because today she has to go to work, to the office. And obviously, you already know I have to drive to the office, to my work. But yeah, it's 7:45. I still got a little bit of time, but I'm going to make sure that I stretch my legs, because that's one thing that I didn't do last leg day, was stretch my legs. That's probably the reason why my calves felt tight for the following couple of days. So yeah, I'm going to get a stretch in. I'm hydrating, getting a Gatorade in. I got a water here as well that I have to finish up so that way I can be hydrated. And then a shower. Your boy's going to head up to work. There's something that I realized this week that for a long time I was just not, it didn't click in my head, right? Until today I was thinking about this. Waking up early in the morning and going to the gym has been the best thing for my mental health and my focus. I would say there's a correlation between that and my productivity so far the past week, because I started lifting. Like I got back to the gym last Tuesday, and it's Wednesday today, so it's been a week since I started and been consistent. So I've been working out from Tuesday of last week to today, and I've just been more awake in the mornings. I've been more focused at work. I don't feel sluggish. I don't feel regretful that I didn't go to the gym. You know, my days seem to go faster. My focus seems to be more locked in everything at work and filming and editing and, you know, helping Corbin and being present in our relationship. And it dawned on me today, or it didn't dawn on me, but it clicked. And I was like, it is because I'm waking up early. My body's getting used to waking up early in the morning. I'm getting the necessary rest that I need for my body to, you know, be as on point, sharp, effective, both at the gym, but also at my work, at my job. And that's something that I honestly encourage you guys to try out and start implementing into your routine. Like I mentioned, I've been consistent for about a week, and man, the changes in how I feel and how my days are in general, even if there's things that obviously change, or, you know, situations and opportunities that come up that I have to find ways to figure out, especially at work. But I feel a sense of calmness. I feel a sense of focus. I feel a sense of, you know, optimism of, we're going to figure it out. We're going to take it one day at a time, controlling what I can control and going from there. And on top of that, being proud of myself and the work that I'm putting on my body every single day. Today I did legs, which is a muscle group that I don't necessarily enjoy working out, but I got it done. And today after the workout, I was thinking to myself, man, it's been a week. I've been working out since Tuesday, and now I wake up in the mornings to my alarm or not my alarm. Sometimes this week I've been waking up earlier than my alarm, and I realized, like, man, it's just getting over that hump that for a lot of us, because including myself, I'm still a work in progress. A lot of us are stuck in that little decision making of, man, I'll just do it tomorrow. I'll do it later, or I'll sleep, but tomorrow I'll start for sure. And it's this endless loop of continuous false promises that you tell yourself that don't make you feel any better. It just make you feel worse. And the reason why I say that is because I started lifting consistently last Tuesday. Before that, I would wake up, shower, get ready, and go to work, and then feel like bad about myself because I had told myself the day before, oh, I'm going to the gym tomorrow. Tomorrow's going to be the day. And I tell Corbin, I'm like, Corbin be like, you can work out tonight. And I'd be like, no, I'll work out tomorrow because then tomorrow I start and all that. And I wouldn't do it. And it wasn't until Tuesday that of last week that it clicked. And when I woke up, I had a split-second decision between going back to sleep or waking up and going to the gym. And for the first time in a while, I said, you know what? Nah, I'm going to get up, go to the bathroom, start turning on some lights. And once I did that, then the way that I process things, especially when it comes to accountability for myself, once I went to the gym once, in my head, that entire day is like, oh, that really great job, Jonathan. You got to do it tomorrow again. And then tomorrow comes and I do it. And then, all right, Jonathan, you already did 2 days. You can do 2 more days. And then I go the next day, the following day after that, and that's 4 days. And I'm like, all right, Jonathan, you already did 4 days. You can do 4 more days. And it's just not negotiating with myself, but more of encouraging myself. Hey, you're on the right track. Look at how you're feeling. Look at how you're being productive. Look at how you're getting things done in your personal life, at work. And that's just been helping me over the past week. So yeah, that's something that I wanted to share with you, because a lot of us are constantly in a loop of false promises towards ourselves, that we're going through a lot of internal battles. And then on top of that, if we don't eat well, if we don't sleep well, if we don't hydrate well, those add on to how we feel. And oftentimes how we feel dictates what we do. So in order to change what we do, we got to change our mindset into not letting our feelings dictate how we carry ourselves and how we do things on a day in and day out basis. Because if it was based on feelings, some of the days this week or even last week, I would have been like, oh man, I'm tired, my legs are sore, my arms are sore, I could go tomorrow, I need some rest. But no, once you commit yourself, like, hey, I'm gonna go focused, locked in on myself, you're gonna be so proud of it, and you're gonna have a lot of perspective and realize it's you versus you, nothing else. So that's what I realized today, and I want you guys to hop on this journey as well and make that decision today, that today is the first day of the rest of your life. You can't go back in time. You can't fix what's in the past. You can learn from it, but live in the moment and make decisions right now that'll steer you in the right direction. And I'm very, very proud that the decisions that I've made so far this week are leading me in the right direction, and having that gut intuition that I feel good and that I'm doing things right means that I'm in the right direction. So I'll catch up with you guys when I get home. So we made it back home to the apartment actually an hour ago. Corbin corrected me. I thought it was like 30 minutes ago, but got back home and we actually tag teamed while Corbin was cooking dinner, which I'm gonna show you what we have for dinner tonight. I was cleaning one of our bathrooms because tomorrow we'll have company over. We'll have my friend Kevin, or our friends Kevin and Monica here, because we're gonna watch Traitors, the season finale. How are you feeling about it? Are you excited? Yeah, she's really excited.
I'm excited.
We're excited, and we decided to invite them over because they also watch Traitors. And fun fact, Kevin actually was the one that put me on to Traitors, and then Corbin and I started watching Traitors. So we've been they're on season 4 right now on TV. They post an episode every Thursday on Peacock. So tomorrow is the season finale and the reunion afterwards. So we decided to invite Kevin and Monica so we can talk with them about the show, about what their thoughts are. Because Corbin and I are constantly having conversations while the show is happening, but also afterwards about the different moves that the traders did, or the faithfuls not realizing who the traders are and things of that nature. So all that to say, yeah, we cleaned up the bathroom. Corbin made some dinner, which is right here. We wanted to try something different, and Corbin mentioned about doing baked potatoes. And I was like, oh, I haven't had those in a while. So right here, Corbin and I were also joking about making a business called Smashed Potatoes. Right?
Don't tell them.
Oh.
Someone's gonna steal our idea.
Well,
I'm kidding.
I don't think they'll steal our idea. There's probably a business out there that does potatoes, and it's called Smashed Potatoes. Corbin is currently looking at it right now. But yeah, so we have baked potatoes and a couple toppings that we can add on. I added sour cream, shredded cheese, and then you can see that on top is bacon bits. And we had leftover chicken strips from last night. We had chicken wraps. So I decided to get those couple leftover chicken strips and a chicken strip right here for some extra protein. But yeah, that's our meal for tonight. Baked potato, which it looks beautiful like that, like out of a restaurant. But I'm gonna be like Corbin, smashing it so that I can eat it. And we're gonna watch a show. So yeah, it's gonna be a fun evening. We're excited about tomorrow. And Corbin's already done with eating because I've been like setting up the camera, getting the battery, getting a Gatorade. Looking for a show. I wanted to watch a real estate show, and Corbin was like, "No, I don't want to watch a real estate show." So, because you already know, we watched The Burbs. We binge watched it in like 3 days, right?
Yeah. Well, I think it took us a little bit longer to watch that, didn't it?
Yeah, probably a couple more days. Then we watched The Beast and Me. Finished it.
That probably 3
Monday?
days. Last night, Tuesday.
Last night, Tuesday. And we started watching that, I believe, Saturday.
Yeah, so 4 days.
So 4 days. And now we're watching Alone, which is a kind of like a survival. Will you say it's a game show?
Yeah, kind of. And yeah. And it's
Like
in
a competition?
Alaska. Yeah, competition.
In Alaska, we're basically,
I think
I don't know how many people.
They're each alone in their own area.
Yeah, they're each alone in their own area, but it's like a huge, like there's an ocean, and then there's like land. Basically, they're in different sections by themselves, and they have to survive the longest. And they have a radio, they have cameras so that they can film themselves, but they can quit at any point, and then someone comes picks them up. But it's really interesting because it's in Alaska. It should get cold in Alaska, and I don't know. There's also bears in Alaska.
I don't know if it's always in Alaska. I think sometimes it's like Canada.
Yeah,
but
true.
I don't know.
But it's somewhere like where the weather gets really cold, so
Yeah.
you get tested really. So we're gonna watch that. There's like a season 11 on Netflix, so we're gonna watch that. And I'm gonna stop talking. Eat this. Yeah, eat this. All right. It is later in the evening. It's actually 10:21, which is not that bad. And I'm here in the station, editing station, because I'm gonna work on finishing one of my previous videos for this YouTube channel, so that way I can post that or have that ready to post in the next week and a half, and then I can start focusing on editing this video right here, and tomorrow I'll start another video. But I wanted to circle back to the conversation that I had earlier in the car with you guys regarding, feelings and waking up early, and how that has improved my productivity, my focus over the past week. And I wanted to kind of dive deeper into that, because for many months, and even when I moved here, I always was type of person that I would, have high goals for myself, high expectations of waking up early in the morning, being productive from the moment I wake up to the moment that I go to sleep. And a lot of times, and for better part of a couple of years, I was more of a person that would talk about it and be like, yeah, I'm going to do this, boom, boom, do this, that, and the other, and blah, blah, blah. And I would maybe start doing it for a couple of days, and then I would fall off the routine. And with the marathon and how crazy last year was, I was not in a good mental space last year. Wasn't in a good physical place either, because I was just training for the marathon, and with all the running, that just takes a toll on you physically and mentally, plus going through it at work at my previous job. I was just going through a lot last year that I didn't prioritize myself and didn't prioritize exercising. And for the past, I would say 2 or 3 months, it's been a lot of me talking to myself, and even at times talking to Corbin and saying like, oh, tomorrow I'm going to wake up to go to the gym and blah, 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 blah. And next day will come and I wouldn't wake up early. Then I would have to shower, get ready, and go to work. And then I will look at myself or think to myself during the entire day, I should have gone to the gym in the morning. Like, what am I doing? I need to get back on track with my health while I'm young, so that way there's no long-term effects later on in life that I can't control, or I can't, say like, I wish I would have started earlier with taking care of my health, taking care of stretchings, taking care of my nutrition or exercising. So that's always a cloud that's in the back of my mind when I don't go to the gym, specifically in the mornings, because I feel, and I felt that for many years, and even when I was in high school and in college, and even when I moved to Minnesota, whenever I would go to the gym early in the morning, as soon as I got done with the gym, I felt so much better about myself, much better about my focus, and what I've already accomplished in the day, which is just putting myself first before I put myself out there for the world, for work, etc. And that same feeling has kind of come back this past week. Last Tuesday, like I told you guys, I made the decision I'm going to wake up, on Monday. I said I'm going to wake up Tuesday, and I'm going to wake up. And I woke up and I was in bed on Tuesday of last week. And as soon as I woke up, I was at a crossroad. I could have made the decision, I'll just lay down here and go back to sleep. But I decided to not do that, get out of bed, go to the bathroom, turn on the lights, sit there for a second, let my body wake up. Because there's something about light. I don't know if there's studies out there, or there's a lot of, professionals that highlight the importance of being out or receiving sunlight or walking outside in the mornings. There's something about the light or the rays of the sun somehow wake our body up, things like that, and it's good for your skin. I don't know. You correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but I've heard a lot of professionals talk about, early in the morning being exposed to the sun or having some sort of light so that your body can wake up. And even there's hatch alarms, which Cora and I recently got one from her parents as a gift for Christmas. So we've been using that one as a soundscape when we go to bed. We have kind of night, like rain when we go to bed, which is nice. And when we wake up, there's like birds chirping, and then the hatch light slowly turns into like if the sun is rising. Nevertheless, I made that decision on Tuesday, went to the gym, felt good about it, and then my productivity that day was at an all-time high at work. I came back, I was present with Corbin, we enjoyed our evening. I believe we made dinner, and we saw a show, went to bed, woke up the next morning, same decision, should I stay in bed? Should I get out of bed? I got out of bed. I was able to go to the gym Wednesday. Same thing Thursday. Same thing Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And now fast forward to today, which is Wednesday, and while I was working, I had a thought come into my head about it's already been a week of me being consistent, and I felt so productive. So my mind was sharp at work. My mind was present here with Corbin. I was locked in with documenting, with filming, with making sure that, I filmed, that I had my batteries charged, that I had worked on some editing, and that I was already thinking about, all right, this video is going to go for the following weekend, but tomorrow I'm going to film. And I just entered a flow state of productivity, and I felt really, really confident. And this past week I've been feeling confident about myself, and that's just because every day I've made the decision to put myself first before I put myself out into the world. And when you start doing this day in and day out, not only it becomes a habit, but your confidence levels is gonna skyrocket. 2 weeks ago, I was overwhelmed at work because there was a lot of things to do, and I would get something done, but then more things would come on, or I would be doing something but then get distracted of doing another thing, and I just felt overwhelmed. But this week my mindset has shifted entirely into taking it one thing at a time, one task at a time. That's how it's been with my workouts and waking up in the morning. I don't think about, I gotta be consistent. I just think about, let me show up today. Let me show up today. I showed up today. Boom. Let's do that again tomorrow. Tomorrow comes. Let's show up today. And you keep stacking days, and when you open your eyes or raise your head, you'll realize, damn, 2 months have gone by, 3 months have gone by, and that's how it's been, man. A week already of working out consistently, and I already uploaded a YouTube video. Like I mentioned, I'm working on editing another one, and this is another one in the span of a week. That is more than I've posted in the past 3 months already, and that's just a testament of making a decision. Like when you negotiate with yourself, when you're like, tomorrow, no, I don't feel like it, you just get so controlled by your emotions, and your emotions are influenced by what you consumed on social media, by the environment that you're in, by what you're eating, by what you're thinking. And to be able to just kind of wake up, not literally, but wake up mentally and be like, you have one life. Every day is a new opportunity. Every day is an opportunity to be grateful that we're alive. There's a lot of people going through many situations. There's a lot of people that are, dying, a lot of people that are getting murdered in other countries, and we have the opportunity to wake up and not worry about those things. Why won't we make the best out of the life that we have? And every one of us go through different struggles, or went through different struggles in the past, or things that are, mistakes, or, I should have done this, should have done that, or things that we might regret or not regret, or looking back at times and now having the maturity of being like, man, I wish I wouldn't have been, an idiot back then, or I wish I would have started, filming, like I mentioned in this channel, filming for YouTube when I was in college, and I would have had many years of experience documented in my channel, and those memories captured on film. But then you think about it, and you just gotta focus on the present. Like I mentioned earlier, you learn from your past, but you can't let that continue to drag you on, because you're going to continue to live in the past, and the present is going to fly you by, and then 20 years is going to fly by, and you're gonna be like, whoa, where did life went? Now I'm feeling my body's tired, or you get injuries, your health is deteriorating, and now when things are at a point where you're already in too deep, that's when it hits like, I wish I would have done. And that's what I think in a way drives me, is me looking at myself older, looking at myself right now, and me thinking from the perspective of did what I do today make myself today proud, but also my future self proud and my younger self proud? Will I regret not have done something today that's gonna be something that I won't be able to do tomorrow or in many years? And having that perspective and that shift of right now, this is your life today, and making the best of it. And obviously life happens and different things alter the way that we live, and test our resilience, test our character and our ability to manage situation, manage emotions, because life is not perfect. We're not perfect. We're constantly changing and evolving as humans. We're also in an environment that's constantly changing, and now with technology and AI, it's exponentially 10xing, 100xing from when we were younger, when we were kids. So with the world moving faster, it's important for you to be grounded in yourself and understand that you only live once, and today is the most important day of your life. And if you have that mentality and you take it one day at a time, you're going to be like me, and you're going to be a week into working out, or a week into journaling, or reading your Bible, which is a thing that I got to work on. And you'll be so much proud of yourself. And that's just going to help you overall with confidence, with the way that you carry yourself, the way that you interact with others, the way that you respect others' time, how you hold not only yourself, but you can hold others accountable as well. And it's just a win-win in all areas if you make the decision day in and day out to just commit to a goal and a purpose and go after it, regardless of how you feel, regardless of what the environment may be telling you, or how, you look at social media, someone my age at 27 already has kids, already this, that. You shouldn't compare it to anyone else, because your story is unique, your story is beautiful, and you're writing it every single day that you wake up. Every single day you're writing a chapter in the book of your life. So you can dictate how the story goes. Obviously, what's in the past, we can't change, and that's just a part of our character development. What you make of it and how you evolve, that's the decision that's the most important right now. That's what takes that arc, from going from the villain to the hero arc, or in the movie when you're in the, climax, or going into like, will he make it or will they not? And you push through the struggle and get over the other side. And the other side is just yourself. The version of yourself that would have stayed in bed. The version of yourself that would have said, maybe tomorrow. The version of yourself that would look at other people and feel like I'm behind. The version of yourself that would have a negative mindset and be like, man, it is what it is. That's my life. That's the person that you are working to compete against and become a better version. Because that person, years down the road, is going to look back and be like, I could have changed my life, but I always had this negative mindset, and I always was like blaming everyone else instead of looking inside and figuring out what I needed to improve, figuring out what my flaws were, what my insecurities were, find the root cause of those, and just tackling it day in and day out. And being able to go to the gym in the mornings is so nice. And yeah, I'm grateful for the opportunity to wake up, exercise, being able to move my body, being able to be present mentally, physically, and by doing so, I can be a better partner to Corbin. I can be a better colleague at work. I can be a better son, a better brother. And that's how you should carry yourself every single day. And that's what I'm working on, being a better example and leading by example. And I was telling Corbin this today. I was like, we should be proud of ourselves because we are leading by example and setting the precedent for our kids in the future that, hey, your parents went through it, they were able to get better and evolve, and we have a story that we can share with them and help inspire them and give them a blueprint that they can look at it and draw some inspiration and understand that, hey, life is not easy at all. It's not perfect. You may be born into a situation that you have everything that you wanted, but life is not going to be like that forever. There's going to be struggle at some point, and who you are in the struggle and how you learn and bounce back, that's what will make you proud of yourself or not proud of yourself. So yeah, thank you for being patient with me. Thank you for supporting. If you watched this video so far, I don't know how long this video will be, but I wanted to talk from the heart because there is a lot of value in sharing your story. There's a lot of people that might be going through the same situation that you're going through or the same struggles and trying to better themselves. Everybody's just wanting to be a better version of themselves and live a better life for not only themselves, their partners, their families, and help other people as well that may be in need. But yeah, hope you have a wonderful rest of your day or evening or morning. Your boy's gonna get some editing done because yeah, I'm not just talking, I'm putting in the work, and like I mentioned, leading by example and letting my actions speak louder than my words. Even though I'm talking a lot now, the proof will be in the pudding, or things, the progress will be evident as the days, the weeks, the months go by, and you'll see the consistency. And I hope that that documenting that journey in my channel will inspire you to start your own journey, and let's get better together. So I'll see you on the next one. It's your boy Jonathan, or Jonathan for my Latino people. Much love. Peace.